Hey guys, what's up? So welcome back to Let's Make a Mod episode 6 of the series. Now recently we went over how to make an item, which we have a topaz. Now we went over how to make a block, which is a topaz solid block. We went over crafting recipes, we probably went over, what else have we went over? Let's just check the list. Let's see, I'm gonna go to my link in the description, creating mods. Let's scroll all the way down to Forge and see what we covered. So I covered how to update your mod, how to make a basic item, blocks, sharpless recipes. Not sharpless, I mean shapeless recipes. Sorry guys. In my last tutorial, I said sharpless over and over because, you know, I don't know why I was just so used to saying sharpless instead of like shapeless. Anyways, today we're going to be covering ores. So we have made ourselves a solid block, and now we have made the crafting for the solid block using topaz. But wait, how do we get topaz? Well, let's make an ore for the topaz. So when you break the ore, it's going to be generating around Minecraft. You're going to break it, you're going to get some topaz out of it. Or you can make something even more fancy. You can make little shards of topaz, craft it all into this right here, the topaz item, and then craft it into the block itself. But we're not going to get too like detailed with the mod. This is just a tutorial mod. But what we're going to do is make some new ores that we'll be generating. In this tutorial, you'll be learning how to make a world generation class, and with that we're going to be making ores generate around Minecraft, and soon we're going to be going over how to make it generate in the nether, which will be very interesting. So anyways guys, let's go ahead and get started. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and save and quit. And I'm going to quit Minecraft and all that stuff. So what you're going to do is open up your Eclipse, alright? So you're going to open up your Eclipse and it should start off like this, just like this, alright? You're going to see Minecraft right here at the very top. You're going to open up that. You're going to go to source, alright? So open up that. Now you're going to look for your package, which should be SCMowns.tutorial. Scroll down, mine is SCMowns.tutorial or whatever you named it. So I'm going to open up that. Now I'm going to locate the main class, which is tutorial mod. So I'm going to double click that and it should already be opened up. Now I know a lot of you guys, there's like a couple of you guys who have been posting comments of saying, Steven, your setup is really messy. Now I understand my setup is really messy. It's because I'm not really getting too detailed with this mod. You could choose how you want to set up your mod. For right now, I'm coding everything into one class, such as the items and blocks. And a lot of people like prefer it as separate things, like one class for items, one class for all blocks, one for all ores. You know what I mean? It will make it a lot more simple if you're making a really huge mod, but right now we're just making a little small mod that's not really going to get really big. It's just all for tutorial. So you could apply all these methods in different ways. You could have your own, you know, setup. Right now I'm just doing just the plain old setup where I just have everything in one class, you know? So anyways, you can choose what you want to do, but what we're going to do now is make another block for our topaz item. Well, no, I mean, we're going to make another block for our topaz ore, alright? So let me go ahead and show you guys my topaz ore. It is a 16 by 16. You could use GIMP, you could use Photoshop, you could use Paint.net to make it. And this is it right here. This is going to be the topaz ore. So when you break this, you're going to get the topaz item. If you guys want this download for this topaz ore, if you guys are following along, links in description. It's going to take you here to my creating mods forum. You just scroll all the way down till you see this big picture that says Forge. Scroll all the way down, episode 6 right here. Open that up, and it should say right here at the very bottom, download. I'll just add that in right now after we're done with this tutorial. But yeah, I'm going to add that download in there, and we're going to be making our very own world generator. And I named mine SCMowns, alright? So world generator, SCMowns. We're going to go over all that right after we're done making another block. So you guys could skip this part if you guys already know how to make another block, but for all you guys who have been posting comments like, Steven, how do you make another, you know, block? Well, we're going to go over that right now. We're going to make another one just for this topaz ore. So how about we get started? I'm going to make another block. You guys could skip this if you guys are not interested in knowing how to make another block. If you guys have already done it, then yeah. So anyways, I'm going to copy this because it's all just copy and paste. I'm going to copy this public static block because we're going to make another block. All right, so there we go. You can't have it the same name, so you have to change this one. Topaz, let's just call it topaz ore. Simple as that. Alright, so this is our blocks right here. In our public class tutorial mod right here, we're going to put public static block. Since it is a block, we're going to put it as a topaz ore. So what is a topaz ore? We have to define it. So that's why we come down here to the public void load. And inside here, we're going to make the event. We're going to make it load right here. So I'm going to copy this, all of this right here from topaz block. If you guys remember our old source, you guys could always come back here. Scroll up if you guys don't remember and go here to make a basic block. Yeah, just come here, and if you guys want to copy the code here, unless you guys already have it, then you guys are set. But since mine's right here, the topaz block, I'm going to copy this, all right? So I'm going to copy the game registry and the language registry. And I could also put like a comment by putting 2 slashes and just putting or if I really want to. But since this is a kind of messy workspace, if you notice all the namings right here, it's kind of random really. We could fix this later on in future tutorials and stuff, but right now I'm just making it all simple just for you guys to know. All I'm going to do is just copy and paste the same code just to make it a lot more easier for me. So anyways, here's topaz block, and we already have a topaz block here. Since we copied it, we have to change everything around. So public static block topaz or, we're gonna copy that topaz or. Come here, double click on this topaz block and just rename it really. So you could copy this, and with Control C, all right. So Control C to copy. Double click on, let's say right here. Let's see, game registry topaz block. Right, it's not called topaz block anymore. It's called topaz or. Press Control and V to paste. So we're just replacing everything, and that's quite it. So game registry, we're just going to do that again. Topaz or, and this is just to register the block into Minecraft. The language registry, we're just going to do the same thing. So we already covered how to make ors. We already covered how to make blocks. So this is why I'm just going over it really fast. Language registry, this is what we called it. It's not a topaz block. And this is the name of it. That's going to show up in game when you're holding the block. Topaz or. So anyways, this right here is the name. Well, right here, the set and localized name. This is the name of the actual picture. So let's see what we named it. We named it topaz or. Yeah, that's it. So we just come over here. And since it's called topaz or, all we have to do is just press Control V. And there we go. Alright, so topaz or, let's go here and just change it to topaz or. Just change everything really to topaz or. And you should be set. Alright, so another thing you want to change is this right here. Block.sound metal footstep. That's not it anymore. What you could do is just backspace all this, because it's not going to sound like a solid block. It's going to sound like an actual or. So what you want to do is go here to the block.set, sound metal name. Alright, so you're going to backspace that, because we're not going to want it to have the sound of metal. You're going to put another period. And you're going to search for what you want. You want it to sound like a grass. You want it to sound like a block. Then we could do all that. So what I'm going to search for is, let's see, stone. Yeah, I want it to sound like a stone. There we go. Now it's going to sound like a block, an official block. You can set the hardness and the resistance. I'm just going to lower this down because it's an actual or. It's not a solid block anymore. Actually, what I'm going to do is increase our old block to 5. So now it's a little bit more heavy duty. Replace this to 2. So the hardness is going to be 2. And the resistance is going to be 5. Resistance. I said it all fast. So the resistance is going to be 5, and right here the resistance is going to be 10. The hardness right here is going to be 5. It's good to go. So basically, all we had to do was just copy. That's it. Now, one thing is, now we have to make a new class. So if you guys look down here, there's a topaz block. That's for the solid block. Now we need something else. I'm going to replace this topaz block and change it to topaz or. All right. Right here, so topaz or equals new topaz or. All right, I believe I spelled that right. All right, there we go. So instead of having it as another solid block, you have to make sure you make a new class. So that's why you rename it right here. So we're just duplicating, making another block. Anyways, I'm gonna go here to create a class for the topaz or, and just say finish. And there we go. Now we have our own little class right here. To make this a lot more simple, what I'm gonna do is go here to the topaz block.java. Because we already made ourselves a solid block. Why don't we just use the same code, just rename everything? So I'm gonna go here, double click this. I'm gonna highlight everything from the topaz block.java. Since we already made a block, I'm gonna use the same code. So I'm gonna right click and copy after highlighting everything. So I'm gonna go back to the topaz or, go here, highlight everything and press Control V to paste. There we go. Now we have all of our little old code back. The reason why we had to do this was because if we happen to break a topaz or, we don't want it to return a topaz block. That's quite cheating. We want it to return a topaz actual item. So what we're going to do is go here to public class topaz block extends block. It is not called topaz block. If you look at the class name, it is topaz or. So you could hover over this and it's going to say rename type to topaz or. Click on there and you should be good to go. So it's going to rename everything and it should be registering stuff, So what we're going to do now is this isn't mandatory anymore. So I realized that, this doesn't really do anything. This string right here, string get texture file, doesn't really do anything because it doesn't, it's like old. I remember in Minecraft 1.5.1 or 1.5, no, 1.4.2, I think. this was mandatory. But since Forge changed a lot over the updates, we don't need this anymore. So I'm going to backspace it and get rid of that texture little path. And since it's giving us an error, we have too many semicolons, so we have to remove those. Or not semicolons, squiggly brackets. Then we can remove that. So if you ever get an error, like if you have too much semicolons, just make sure you backspace it and just wait till the error goes away. Keep backspacing all of those little squiggly brackets. And once it shows the, it's clear, then you're good to go. So I'm not going to be pasting the source for all this because you guys should be able to copy and paste it yourself. It's a lot more simple. And right, so let's go ahead and do this. So the creative tab, we're just going to leave it at the tab block section. Now when you break it, all right, so when you break a topaz ore, what are you going to get in return? You're going to get a tutorial mod dot what? We're going to backspace this, put a period again. We're going to get a topaz item out of it. Now the topaz item is not a block. So change block ID and change it to item ID because it's an item. All right, so let's see. When ID drop, it's going to return a tutorial mod topaz. So it's going to drop a topaz. And how many is it going to drop? It's going to drop only one. You could change this to 3 if you really want to. So when you break one ore, you get 3 gems out of it, which is really cool. That's enough for a pickaxe because in the next tutorial, we're going to go over tools and swords and all that stuff. So there we go. When you happen to break the ore, it is good to go. Now that we have made ourselves a topaz ore, we are now ready to launch Minecraft and it should be able to show up. So what I'm going to do is go back to tutorial mod and just make sure everything's set. All the errors are gone, which should be. Once we make our topaz ore class, we are good to go. But wait a second. You guys forgot to do one thing, guys. Don't forget. Our item ID has to be changed. The topaz item is 2501. Our topaz block is 2500. Our topaz ore is 2500. You have to make sure this is different from both these item IDs. You can't have it like Minecraft, you can't have it at 25 because something might be there's an item that might have the item ID 25, so you can't use it. So make sure you get something unique and different from other item IDs. So I'm going to use 2502. There we go. Just make sure you don't scramble your IDs. Just make sure they're all in order. So if you make a new item, the next new item I'm going to make is going to be item ID 2502. And no, not 2. It's going to be 3 because I'm going in order, 501, 502, 500, I'm doing this in order. I'm not saying 3,000, 10,000, and 50 billion. I'm not doing that. And it can't even go up to 50 billion, so I can't even go that high. But I want to. Anyways, what we're going to do now is after we have made ourselves a topaz ore, now we are ready to make sure our texture file right here is now set in our modded folder. So once you have the texture ready, or that you downloaded from my description or you have made it, then you're going to open up your Forge tutorial moddings folder. All right, so once you do that, I'm going to go here to jars, bin. So inside our, moddings folder, go to jars, bin. Now here's items. No, it's not going to be under items. It's going to be under blocks. So under blocks, I'm just going to make a copy just to, keep in record that I have made myself an ore. So there we go. So I just made a copy. I just made a duplicate of the texture just to make sure I remember everything. So when I'm done decompiling and all that stuff, and when I distribute it, I can know what I added in right here. I just make duplicate copies. So anyways, now with the original file right here, what I'm going to do is install this, drag this over to the Minecraft.jar. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. I'm going to right click the Minecraft.jar, open with WinRAR or any 7-zip opener. So I'm going to open up the Minecraft.jar, move it aside. You're going to go here to the textures folder inside your Minecraft.jar because we're going to be installing the topaz ore texture. So open up this texture folder and you're going to go here to block since it is a block. Open that up and simply just drag it straight in there and press OK and you're done. So what you do is just highlight this texture, drag it into there, and you're good to go. Just add it to the rest of all these textures. And once you are ready, go ahead and press play on Eclipse and it should be able to load up your actual ore. So it might give you this, just let this run. And I know it takes forever, trust me. When I run Eclipse and this thing opens up, I hate it. It just takes forever. I'm not sure why it's doing that. It's probably just, optimizing our workspace and stuff. I don't know why it does this, but it just takes forever. Minecraft normally when you run it, it does not do this. All right, so just press OK to anything that launches, and there we have it. So how about we check our ore and make sure it's a lot different than anything else. All right, so I'm gonna go to single player, go in here. I should be in creative mode. All right, so there's our block, there's our item. How about we go in here, scroll down a little bit. What do you know? there's our topaz ore right there. You see this? That's it. That is our ore. We have made the block itself, but wait a minute. It's not generating around the world because we have not set up our world generator. We're going to do that right now because we haven't made the block. All right, so I'm going to go into survival just right now, just to triple check, just to make sure that it could be mined or it could be, broken and it will drop a topaz. So I'm going to break this. What do you know? It dropped the topaz, so it works. Because, since we made our own class, now it'll just break and drop the topaz. But if we never changed the drop, we could have broke this and it would have dropped this. You don't want it doing that. You want it to drop the item itself so you could grab the item and craft this block, the solid block. All right, so how about we make our world generator? So what I'm going to do is save and quit our game. Now we're going to make it. So go in my description, the first link right here, making a basic, no, not that one. You're going to scroll down to the forge and go to episode 6, which is ores and world gen in Overworld. So in the next tutorials, we're going to go over how to make them in, the end, how to make them in, the nether. So we're going to do that. So right now, we're just going to do a basic one. We're just going to make a world generator for the Overworld. So what you're going to do is highlight this first line of code, game registry.register world gen. We're going to copy that, go here to Eclipse, scroll down a little bit, and just add it to here where all the game registry is at, underneath your public void load. So anyways, I'm going to make some space right here, all the way down to the bottom. I'm going to put a comment saying world gen. So here I'm just going to paste in that line of code, and you'll get yourself an error because you haven't really defined what a world generator SCMowns is until we make a new class for that. So game registry.register world generator, we're making a new world gen, and this one is going to be named world generator SCMowns. You could change this to whatever you like. You could highlight this and put world gen Billy himself, if you really want to. But for me, in this tutorial, I'm going to name it world generator SCMowns. What a world generator will do is that it'll take any block, anything that you have made, and randomly generate it around the overworld or wherever you want it to generate. So yeah. Anyways, in this world generator, I'm just going to highlight over it since there's an error. And once you see this pop up right here, you're going to go here to create class world generator SCMowns. So hover over the error. This is going to pop out. Go down here and click on create class world generator SCMowns. Click on there. All of this is going to open up. Don't even worry about it. Just press OK. All right. So in your package right here, it should say SCMowns.tutorial, and here's your new world generator. All right. So inside this world generator, we're going to copy and paste the same code. All right, so what I'm going to do is just scroll a little bit more down. Now this right here is what's going to be pasted inside our world generator SCMowns. Another thing you guys can note is that you guys could always come here to this forum, scroll down, and there's just information that you guys could just read upon. So if you guys are interested of what this does, if you guys are interested in what you could do with this, then you could be sure to read these little, short paragraphs. It's not even like a paragraph, but you could just read the sentence, and I'll try to describe it at my best. Because I wrote all this and I just made sure that you guys will understand what all this means. So in this tutorial, I would just be covering the basics of it, not too much in detail, because you could just come here and read about it. All right, so now what we're going to do is just highlight this right here, all this. All right, so after we highlighted and copied this in our main class, we're going to come here and copy all this right here, this code. So I'm going to copy this, go back to our Eclipse, and now inside my world generator SCMowns, I'm going to highlight all this just to remove it and paste it right in. All right, that is great. There we have it, world generator SCMowns. We just pasted the code in there. So our package is not named your.package. It is actually named right here, SCMowns.tutorial. Hover over the error and change it. Now you have changed it. Congratulations. Good. We did it, guys. We are done. Nah, just kidding. All right, so what you have to do now is right here it says import, and just triple check that it has the basic importing like world. Yeah, if you guys copied it from my source, then obviously it's gonna have all the imports. Anyways, once the imports are correct, you could scroll a little bit more down and see what all this thing does. So I put comments right here if you guys noticed, because this is for the world gen nether, which we're gonna go over later on because it's a little bit, I think it's a little bit more different because we're gonna be changing things around. But yeah, we're gonna be messing with this soon for the nether, so that's why I left it out. I put a comment, but right now for case 0, we're gonna be doing regular surface gen. We're gonna make a surface generator. That's the best way I could say it. We're gonna make it generate in the overworld. So if we come down here, you're gonna have yourself an error. Let's just fix this error while we're at it, because I hate having errors like right on my face while I'm trying to teach, or like I'm not teaching, but I'm just showing you guys instructions and stuff. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna no. Let's start from the beginning. All right, so this right here is the main class, which we're gonna be generating, and this is the coordinates of where the ores are gonna be generating. All right, so this right here is the rarity of like the generator. So like if you have it lower or higher, it's gonna affect how much it's gonna spawn and stuff. And this right here is the vein size. So right here, new world gen mineable. All right, so right here, your class. What's your class that you have made your ore in? For ours, it is the tutorial mod.java. So I'm gonna go ahead and highlight this, backspace it, and just put in, tutorial mod dot, and this is it right here, topaz ore. All right, we're not gonna make the solid block generate. It is called topaz ore block. All right, so click on there, and once you have done that, I'm just gonna highlight all this junk that we don't need and just backspace it. So I'm missing something. I'm just missing block ID. All right, there you have it. Since it is a block, you have to put block ID after the end of everything. So this right here, this is the coordinates of how far apart these ores are going to be generating from one another, and that's going to affect this right here. This is the ore that's going to be generating. This is the vein size. So if you want it to be 4 in a cluster, then you could have it at 4. But if you want it like 9, that's ridiculous. That would be like a coal. Like if you find coal's around like 6 or 7, I think, or no, I think it's 8. I don't know. Coal is very random sometimes. You could find a lot, you could find a little bit. That's how coal is. So anyways, let's just keep it at a vein size of 8. All right. So it's going to generate in the world of the coordinates X, Y, and Z. And these are the coordinates of X, Y, and Z. You could change these numbers 16, 16, 16. And you could have it all the way up to 64 if you really want to. So what I'm going to do is change this to actually 32, 32, and 32. That's like normal, really. But if you keep it at, like, let's say 16, 16, 16, they're going to be generating a lot together. And actually, what I'm going to do, X, Y, I think I'm going to change Z to 64. So it's going to be generating up. I believe, yeah, Z. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I just, paused the video just to check on the X, Y, and Z coordinates, because it's quite confusing how Minecraft does it. I'm not sure if it's, regular, just X, Y, and Z, or if they have like a special way, because if you look over here, this one right here is the Y is up, Z is this way, and X is the other way. But in basic terms, like, basic coordinates, Z is normally up. So I'm not sure if that's how Minecraft flows, if it's like Z is up and, Y is this way and, X is that way. But we could always guess and just mess around with these numbers. But I'm going to go ahead and keep Z at 64. So it's going to be generating 64 blocks high. And the ores are going to be, separated far apart from each other, 32 by 32 randomly. Because it is random, right? Right up here it's random. So anyways, you can mess around with this 10. You can mess around with, just mess around with this 10. You could have it higher if you really want to. Or keep it lower if you want it to frequently spawn in and stuff. So anyways, once we have this world generator, we should be good to go. If this video didn't really explain much, then be sure to go back to the forum and just read the text, because the text explains it a little bit more than what I'm doing in this video. And also, I have already done a video about ore generation for Mod Loader, and I've covered a little bit more information in depth, because that was my first time ever making a world generator, and I'll just going over everything just step by step. So if you guys want to check out those videos, it's a lot more simple. But right now, all you have to worry about is just the spacing, the coordinates and stuff, and the vein size and the block itself. And once you have all that, you should be able to go. It's quite simple. So let me just check the forum post just to make sure we have everything. Yeah, we do have everything. Sweet. So if in case 0, it's going to be spawning in, the overworld and stuff. And since it is case 0, then we're good to go. All right, so once we are ready, how about we press play, and it should be able to work. I'm going to click on save all and just make sure there's no errors. If you have any errors, then be sure to change it and fix them and whatnot. The only error you might get is this: tutorial mod, your main class, your actual ore, which is mine is a topaz ore, and block ID. You have to put block ID. It cannot be an item generating. So once you are ready, go ahead and save all and press play, and it should be able to work. Alright, so we have made our world generator, and you could always use your world generator for more stuff. So let's say you want to make another ore. I'll show you guys how to do that right now in a second, but what I'm going to do is create a new world, because you have to make sure that you make a new world to load chunks. And with those new chunks, you might be able to find your topaz ore, or whatever ore that you made. So time to log into Minecraft. It's taking some time, but we could deal with that. Come on, Minecraft. You could do it, Minecraft. Anyways, while Minecraft's loading and stuff, how about I show you something? All right, in order to make another generator, what you have to do is go here in between these squiggly brackets and just press enter. All right, so make sure there's just one squiggly bracket. Normally there was 3, but we just had to enter and space them out. And what you're gonna do is just copy this right here. Just copy from the end of the new world mineable all the way up to 4. All right. Do not copy the public void world generator, all that stuff. You don't have to copy that again. So I'm gonna copy that and just paste it again, and there you go. Once you have done that, you have to make another semicolon. No, not semicolon. Squiggly bracket. Yeah. All right. So just make sure you make another squiggly bracket if you want to make another one. And once you have made another one, you could change anything. Like I'm gonna have this one 16. All right, 16. Let's go here and make this 16, and make this 16. All right. And instead of a topaz ore, I could backspace that and make it a solid block, which is the topaz block. There we have it. So now we have 2 ores generating. See, if I would happen to copy this right here, if I would happen to copy this line of code, we're gonna get errors. All right, guys. So if I paste that in, we're gonna get errors because we already defined what the generate surface is up here. So all you have to do is just whatever is underneath these brackets right here is under this right here, this term. Generate surface, and what generate surface is right here. In case 0, it's going to be generating stuff around chunks. So anyways, we have made 2 in our progress right now. That's pretty cool. And the vein size of this, I'm going to keep it at 2. All right, so anyways, let's go back into Minecraft, and still loading the world. I can't believe that. Why is it doing that? Let's see if there's any errors. Let's see. Nope, it just didn't want to load. Well, wait a second. We seem to have ourselves an error. It's a big error. Let me scroll all the way up. I don't know why it's doing that. I'm going to stop everything, save all, and press play again. Sometimes, I don't know why, but Eclipse sometimes just dies out and just doesn't want to work sometimes. But we're going to fix this. We're just going to delete all our worlds, create a new world, and log in. And it should be able to work this time. If it doesn't, then we did something wrong. And I'll show you guys what we did wrong, which I don't understand. Wait a second. Starting server at 1.5.1. Are we outdated? Alright, so we are now back. So I was using an old version of my Minecraft coder pack. I was using an old Forge 1.5.1 when I was like messing around, and I thought this was Minecraft 1.5.2, but that wasn't the reason why we were having so much issues. The reason why it didn't work, the coding, was because first of all, I had it by 32, 64, and 32, which gave it an error. So I just want to keep it normal, I just want to keep it generating somewhere around 16 by 16 by 16, because I think up here, the chunk size and stuff is already set to 16. So I already have this set, though you could probably even change this. So if you change 16 and change it to, let's say, not the star, don't highlight the star, highlight 16, backspace and put 32. That should be able to work. But anyways, I just want to keep it normal. I'm going to leave it 16 and all that stuff, just how I had my code, but I'm going to keep the same vein size and stuff. So yeah, anyway, just keep it 16, 16, 16. You shouldn't have yourself any issues. And I was using an old, outdated version of Forge. I was using 1.5.1 for some reason, so I went ahead and just changed it. And now that I have solved everything, how about we press play, and we should be able to go. Anyways, I'm going to go here, see, Minecraft 1.5.2. If you go back, you'll see that I was at a later version of Minecraft. So I'm going to go to single player, and I'm going to delete this world and create a new world in creative mode. And it should be able to load. You see down here, there's no issues. You're seeing that it's creating the spawn rate and stuff. So it's already set. So now, how about I go and look for my ore? This might take a second, but the best way to locate your ore is by finding a ravine or a Minecraft cave. Because usually, if you go there, then that's like the best way of finding your ore. And since I'm right here at this extreme hill biomes, I might be able to find myself a cave system leading me down. So what I'm going to do is I could either use TNT, I could like blow this whole place up if I really want to, but I'm not sure if I'm capable. Actually, I'm going to do it right now. I'm just going to blow this place up, all right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep recording, because what if I just happen to encounter it? I'm just going to mine straight down. All right, so I found iron, coal. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for the topaz. So let's keep breaking till we hit bedrock, and there we go. We have hit bedrock. And now let's blow this place up. I'm gonna change down my sound because it's really loud. All right, there we go. So it should be generating somewhere around 16 blocks underneath at random. Oops, there we go. All right, so let's hope for this. And maybe this whole place will blow. Okay, oh, there we go. Alrighty. There we go. So now let's look around till we find our topaz. Normally when I do that, it works. Alright, so I found emerald, which is a lot more rare than topaz. Huh, where is it at? I could not find it. Okay, guys. Oh, whoa, 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 look at this. What do you know? Right when I was going to say, guys, I'll be right back. What do you know? I was going to say, hey, guys, I'll be right back. I'm just going to locate, make sure that it works. So if you guys notice, the vein size, I put it as 8, so it's going to randomly generate a lot. Look at that. That's about 4 topaz right there. That's pretty cool. There's probably more back here. Nope. Anyways, guys, there's the topaz. Sweet. So it's right next to the emerald, which is up here. Look at that. Whoa, I found emerald, and that's stuff like rare. And I got it, and I got topaz. Pretty awesome. And it's all the way down here, just like diamond, 16 by 16. You get it? So we're pretty much generating a diamond, but instead it's a topaz. Pretty awesome. Now it gives our like gem a value, because it's a lot more harder to find. That's why it's a little bit more rare. So let me just triple check again, just to make sure that we're not having a incomplete ore. I'm gonna break this, and it does drop our topaz. So if we take this topaz, if we get like about 5 more of these, we can make the block. And soon we're gonna be going over how to make tools, and then armor, and then all this other stuff. We're gonna go over mobs again, and then after that, actually after tools, I'm gonna show you guys how to complete your mod and how to decompile it and all that stuff, just to share it around with your friends, just to make it into an actual mod itself, which will be interesting because a lot of people have been telling me to make that and stuff. Anyways, guys, if you guys watched this throughout the whole entire video, be sure to leave a rating. Guys, leaving a like on this series, then make sure, like, you know, it gives me an idea to keep on continuing on with the series. I know that this series isn't uploaded daily or even like weekly. It's like once in a while. That's because I'm putting a little bit more effort onto other series than this series. But if you guys show your support by leaving likes and stuff, and if I see that this video hits like, you know, 700 likes, then yeah, for sure I'm gonna make another video as soon as possible. But since this series is going up and down with its, like, you know, support, normally I'm getting like 200 likes. That was like two episodes ago. I only got like 200 likes. Then that shows that it's not like as big as Minecraft daily uploads, you know what I mean? So if you guys want this video uploaded a lot more, then be sure to show your support, leave a like, and then I'll know for sure that you guys want to see more of the series. And yeah, anyways, guys, hopefully this video wasn't very confusing. It was quite simple. All you had to really change is this right here. Just change it to 16 by 16 by 16, which will make it just a lot more simple, because Minecraft just had like a little issue and I couldn't keep it at 64. I think I did that for the mod loader series and it worked, but for some reason the forged version is quite different, though I'll just investigate and triple check to see what's the best coordinates. Soon we'll be able to come back to this for the nether spawn, especially for the nether. We're gonna come back to this and change it so it's a little bit more of a high altitude. Anyways, guys, thank you guys for joining. I'm gonna go ahead and catch you guys later. Thank you guys for all of your support. See you later.